Hello and welcome to the Crypto Culture Crew. This is episode 6 of CCC Weekly. My name is Sam. Let's get right into it. Normally, I go over a quick market overview, but today we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to look at our DCA, dollar cost average portfolio, and take a look at what's going on with our some of our investments and see how that's looking. So let's get right into it. Today, the market cap is around uh, $2 trillion, which is down from last week. It was up to about 2.1 trillion, and BTC dominance is up. ETH dominance is down to about 18.8%, and the gas fees are actually fairly low compared to what they've been the past couple weeks. We did see a market correction the past couple days. It's been down, which is actually a good time to dollar cost average. Let's take a look at our portfolio. On the charts, you can kind of see what it's been doing the past 7 days since last week. Got pretty high up at one point and then kind of came down the past 30 days. Overall, this is going to be week 7 of putting money into it, and we're about at $800 so far. So overall, the portfolio has done pretty well. We're up 33% overall, up $197. Our best performer is Solanium, and our worst performer right now is the one we added last week, which is Phantom FTM. So let's take a quick look. Cardano is sitting at $2.40. Our average price is $1.84. We're up 30%, $60 on that. Ethereum is at 3,294. Our average price is about 3,000. We're up 10% on that, up $18. Bitcoin average price is 44,000, and we're only up about 2.5% on that. And Solanium, which is our biggest producer, up 366%. Our average cost is 84 cents. Right now it is $3.97. Again, this was a small cap, very low cap, and not a lot of money into it at the time we got into it. Since then, it has gone up over 3x, and a lot more money has come into it. It was a very risky investment, but overall, it has definitely paid out in the short term, going up 366%. And last but not least, Phantom, we bought that last week for the first time, and it's pretty much exactly where it is. So this week we're going to dollar cost average again. We're going to do $30 Cardano, $30 Ethereum, $30 Bitcoin. I'm going to skip Solanium again because it's just, it's pretty high up. It still has more room for growth, but it also could pull back, and we're going to get into Phantom. We're going to put the last $10 in there. All right, so let's go ahead and start adding these in. Cardano we're going to buy another 12.55 Cardano, 12.5, that gives us $30. Let's add that. Ethereum, I'm going to add another $30. It's 0.009. Bitcoin, we're going to add another 30. 0.0067. Another 0. And then last but not least, Phantom. We're going to get 8 of those. $10. All right, so we've added it in. Our portfolio is now at $900. It's 7 weeks. We'll see where it's at next week, and we'll just kind of take a look and see how we're performing overall. But looks pretty good so far. 33% over a 6-week period is really good as far as regular investing. Crypto, you could actually see more than that. Right now, I do believe we're in the middle of a bull run. I'm always looking at the market cap. For whatever reason, I think that the market cap at the peak of the bull run is going to be around $4 trillion, so we could still go up another 2 trillion, and you're going to see a lot of these things possibly go up to double from where they are right now. And at that point, you may want to start taking profits, or if you're a long-time holder, you're going to just hold it until you're ready to release some of that crypto. Now let's take a quick look at the markets, and then we'll get into some what's going on in the crypto world. So let's take a look at the top 10 like we always do. Bitcoin had over the past 7 days. Again, it's been a down week for the crypto space. It's down 14% over the past 7 days. Market cap's about 850 billion. Currently sitting at 45,000. Ethereum's at 3,300. It's also down about 15% for the past 7 days. Bitcoin had a pretty big week. The dip last week started on Tuesday, which was the day that El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as currency, and we did see a pretty, I think it was about 15 to 20% drop in the market that day. But overall, I do believe everyone's going to be watching El Salvador to see what happens with their economy now that they have adopted Bitcoin. Ethereum, no real big news last week. Cardano, big news as far as Sunday, they had their hard fork, which just means that they are now enabling smart contracts. So that means that this a lot of this things that you can do on Ethereum, you can now do on Cardano. As far as the price, it's also down 15%. So you didn't see a lot of boost there. So when we talk about smart contracts, as I kind of think of it as like the building, right? So you got a building, and now that smart contracts are on, you have these different projects that can actually now go into these buildings and start building out their projects. Now, a lot of those transactions and a lot of those projects have been going on to Ethereum because they were really the only real working smart contract for the past, 3, 4, 5 years. And now you have a lot of different competitors, a lot of different projects that are also can do smart contracts. Cardano was one that's been, working on for a long time, and now they just activated. So we're going to see what projects build on it and what's to become of it. I think Cardano is going to be starting to use a lot more as far as NFTs because the gas fees are going to be much lower than on Ethereum, which is one of Ethereum's biggest problems right now. The network is so congested that it costs a lot of Ethereum and to do different things like sending money and minting NFTs and things like that. So Cardano's one to definitely keep an eye on and see how that plays out over the next few months and years. Next, Tether is a stable coin, nothing going on there. Binance is a smart contract, but again, it's centralized, so I'm not too crazy about it, but it is in the top 10 because of their extremely low fees, which is why people like it. XRP, their lawsuit is still pending with the SEC. They're down 21%. So we'll see how that shakes out over the next few weeks, a few months with that litigation. Solana, this has gone up a lot. As you can see, everything is down 15, 20%. They're only down 3%. They are a smart contract platform that has done really well that a lot of people like because it's extremely fast and extremely cheap. So I think you're going to start seeing a lot of NFTs going on Solana and just a lot of money going into Solana overall. They also have a partnership with FTX, which is an exchange. I don't know if you may have seen Tom Brady. He was doing a commercial kind of promoting them. So, Solana, definitely one to keep an eye on. We don't have it in the portfolio right now, but that's probably something we're going to look to add. Haven't added it because the price has just been going up and up and up, and you want to buy when things are low versus when things are on their way up. You don't want to FOMO in. You want to try to get it on the dip, and it was as high as almost $200 last week. So maybe now is a good time to start looking at Solana to get in there. Polkadot had a really good week last week, and it's one of the few currencies that's actually up right now, up 2.6%, and definitely another smart contract platform. So you want to keep an eye on that. They're still kind of in the early stages. They do something called parachains, which actually is not out yet. They have a canary or like a test cryptocurrency called Kusama where they roll out and test all that stuff before they bring it to Polkadot. So another one to keep your eye on. Dogecoin, everyone knows Doge at this point, was a meme coin. We'll see if they actually add more utility so it's actually more valuable. And then USDC is a stable coin. And Terra Luna, another smart contract platform, up 15%. So they've had a really good week. All the smart contracts platforms in the past week have had really big run-ups because they're going to be able to be used for NFTs, different smart contracts, DeFi, things like that. So you're seeing a big run up there. And then Uniswap is an exchange, a decentralized exchange that a lot of people are using. Now, Uniswap is used for Ethereum. So I think as Cardano and Solana and some of these other smart contracts platforms mature, you're going to start seeing their dexes rising up and to the top, 20 coins and things like that. So now let's talk about some of the things that's going on in the crypto space. Again, NFTs, I believe, are still kind of ruling the world and ruling what's going on and how the market is moving. So Ethereum, most NFTs are being bought and sold on OpenSea. It's the platform that you can use to buy, trade, sell NFTs, but the gas fees are so expensive on Ethereum that really people who only have a lot of money are the ones using it right now, because it may cost you $200-300 in gas fees to mint an NFT that may only cost $100. So the cost there may be just too much for some people to get into, which is why Cardano is going to be extremely attractive. And one of the platforms that they're using is called CNFT. Last week, I told you guys I wanted to get into some NFTs, but everything was just so expensive. I don't want to spend three, four, 500, or even $1,000 on NFT, but I do want to have some exposure to them. So I was looking at different projects that I could possibly get in at a lower cost. And with CNFT on Cardano, I did find a project that I do like that's not super expensive, that I don't mind, buying a few just to get in. So High Stakes is the one that I found on CNFT, and currently you can get them as low as 14 Cardano, which is pretty good because right now with the price of Cardano at about 240, it'll cost you around between what, 35, $40 to buy it versus 3, 4, 500 on Ethereum. And what's also good about this project is it literally just came out. I think they're gonna have 10,000 of these different NFTs that they're releasing. And the good news is that they're not all printed yet, so you have a chance to get in before they're all sold out, which is why the price is so low. And what I thought was really interesting about this project is they are costing $25 to mint. So if you wanted to go on High Stakes and mint the actual NFT, it's going to cost you 25 Cardano, but there's people on here selling them for less than that. I was going to buy them directly from the High Stakes minting, but once I saw on here that they're 14, I was like, you know what? Let me just buy one of these. That way I can save a little bit, and I can buy. I bought like actually two of them just so I could have it to my collection, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe this is a project that picks up and goes along. I liked it because I thought it was kind of cool because it's called High Stakes, and they're actually cartoons or pictures of stakes, and they got their bloodshot eyes, they're high. So that's why I bought it. And especially with NFTs, you want to buy projects that you like overall because they may or may not go up in value. So if you don't like them, and you're just buying them just to buy them because you think you're going to go up, then if they don't go up and you have to hold them, you're going to be pretty upset. But if you like the artwork and you like it, then who cares? It's just something that you own and it's your NFT. Now, what I also like about CNFT is there's a platform called CNFT Analytics where it actually tells you what projects are the top projects on CNFT. So right now, SpaceBuds is a top project on here, and they've had 1,800 sales all time. And you could also switch it to see what's been going on in the last week, which is right here. Playmates is doing good this week. SpaceBuds, Cardano City, Crypto Dino, and the last 24 hours as well. So if you're trying to get into certain products, you want to see which ones are doing well and which ones people are really liking, because those are the ones that you want to buy and hold, because those are the ones that people like overall, and then that's how they're gonna appreciate value. So let's take a look at, for example, all time. We've got I think it's SpaceBuds. So if you go back to CNFT, and you could actually search on the marketplace SpaceBuds, and you can see what the lowest selling NFT is on here. So let's do that real quick just so you guys can get an idea of how that goes. SpaceBuds. So here's a couple. This is actually Daily Dose. This is not SpaceBuds. So let's use the filter instead and see if we can get all the SpaceBuds. Here we go. And filter that out. Okay, so there we go. We got all the SpaceBuds, and let's see what some of these are going for. 8,300. So let's sort it from low to high so you can see what's the bottom price, which is called the floor price for this NFT. So the cheapest one that you can get right now on SpaceBuds is 3,500 Cardano, which is way out of my price range and something that I just wouldn't buy because it's just too much. Although I'm sure people, are buying them and, selling them and flipping them. But for me, this project is just, too expensive at the time. But it gives you an idea of how, some of these NFT projects can just really blow up. So spending 15 Cardano versus 3,500 is something that I would prefer to do. But again, you never know what's going to happen with any project. And who knows, maybe that 15 Cardano high stakes NFT that I got may one day be, 30, 40, 50, or maybe even 100, depending on how popular the NFT project actually becomes. Now, if we look at some other NFTs, if we go to Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is on Ethereum, they recently had a sale on Sotheby's and they sold 107 NFTs in their project for $24 million. So this is the one that Steph Curry bought for like 160,000. So this is why he bought it, because he probably saw that these things are extremely popular right now, and that buying one for 160,000, who knows, maybe that same NFT now that he bought 2 weeks ago could be worth 300,000, especially because of this sale. um, a set of 107 non-fungible tokens representing images of cartoon apes sold for 24 millions in an online sale at Sotheby's auction house on Thursday as the market for the crypto niche asset continues to heat up. Now, the Bored Ape Yacht Club images were part of the Bored Ape Yacht Club connection, a collection of NFTs, a set of 10,000 computer-generated cartoon apes made by the U.S.-based company Yuga Labs. Owners of the ape NFTs become members of an online club. So this is just kind of what some of these projects are doing and why the craze for NFTs is so much, because they just go up so much in value. And Twitter is really, if you're looking at NFTs, you want to get a Twitter and look at Twitter to see how many followers they have. As you can see here, they have 140,000 followers, and this is just kind of tells you about their projects. If you want to search NFTs, I definitely recommend going on Twitter and just, getting engaged in there and seeing what people are talking about, what people like, and, just finding out as much as about certain projects as you can. Um, Now, let's take a look at some other things that are going on in the crypto space. Let's talk about El Salvador. El Salvador took Bitcoin as legal tender last Tuesday, and it's been mixed reviews, but I think overall this is really really good for the crypto space in general, and it turns out it could be really good for El Salvador. So El Salvador new Bitcoin wallet could cost Western Union and similar companies $4 million a year. So let's take a look at why that is the case. So in El Salvador in 2020, they received nearly $6 billion in remittance. Remittance is just wire transfers and money sent abroad back to the country. So this is money that, people who are in the United States and other countries all over the world, they're sending money back to El Salvador to their family members, and which accounted for about 23% of the GDP in El Salvador. So that's $6 billion. Now, with them adopting Bitcoin, now 400 million of those fees that they're paying, if they're using the Bitcoin Lightning Network and the Chivo app, that goes right back to those families. Instead of paying Western Union or any other bank to transfer money, they can now send this money very, very quickly and very cheaply. So this is something that could be very, very good for El Salvador. And I also heard that just by them saving this $400 million in fees alone, it could increase the GDP of El Salvador. It has already increased the GDP of El Salvador by 3%. So the whole world is going to be watching El Salvador to see how it works out for them. And it says some 70% of Salvadorans' population receives remittance payments, which means they're just getting money from their family and friends abroad. So let's take a look at this article real quick. Jamie Garcia really hates using Western Union to send money home to El Salvador. In this day and age, it is wild that I had to go to a physical Western Union office, give them actual cash, and then hand them another $25 on top of that for fees before they would send any money over. And then, of course, it takes 3 days for it to actually to arrive in El Salvador. Garcia, who lives in the Canadian province of Saskatchewan, fled El Salvador when he was 11 after rebels bombed his house. His biggest issue was wiring cash abroad in less in less the inconvenience on his end and more about what happens to his loved ones receiving the money. Again, this could be really, really big for El Salvador. Now, when people are sending money, they may be able to send more money because now they can save the fees that they would normally have to give to Western Union and banks to now go directly to their family members. So I think this is really, really good for El Salvador. We'll see how it plays out. When the market dipped last week, they did buy more Bitcoin as well. So I'm really interested to see how this plays out. If it goes well in El Salvador, I expect many, many other small countries that have small GDPs to start adopting Bitcoin to see if it'll actually boost their economies as well. Um, so, that's basically it as far as Bitcoin in El Salvador. Now, we spoke briefly about Cardano and their smart contracts turning on Sunday. And as you can see here in this article, Cardano gained smart contract capabilities following the Alonzo hard fork. And it just kind of goes over what that means. So Cardano's network update, Alonzo is finally live with Alonzo arrival at 2147 UTC at Epic 290 smart contract. Pieces of code that self-execute when predefined conditions are met can now begin to be created and deployed on the Cardano mainnet. So when they're saying this predefined conditions is met, the easiest way to look at it is if you've ever done any type of computer programming, basically if then statements. If this happens, then we're going to do this. That's what a smart contract does. It gets programmed into it, and they kind of just follow whatever it's programmed to do. So Cardano, definitely one to keep an eye on. They've been working on this for 4 or 5 years, and it's going to be challenging Ethereum as far as decentralized finance, different things like that. So it's really interesting to see how the crypto space is heating up and the competition for smart contracts is really, really going. As you can see, a lot of the top 10 uh, cryptocurrencies are smart contract platforms: Ethereum, Cardano, Binance, Solana, Polkadot, Terra Luna. So I think smart contracts have the most utility right now. They're being used for NFTs, DeFi. So in the future, we'll see what other applications that it could be used for and how it's gonna, possibly change the world. So that's it for this week. Again, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. If you got this far in the video, again, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.